Hey, Xiomy here. So today I wanted to do my June wrap-up. And I know what you're gonna say. Hey, Xiomy, we're in August, woman. What's wrong with you? But you know what? To my defense, I had my June wrap-up already filmed. The only thing I had to do was edit it. Unfortunately, I still haven't worked out any kinks with my computer, so we're gonna leave that as is, and we're gonna start all over. We're gonna start fresh and we're gonna start new. So obviously I'm going to refilm this and obviously upload it. I did want to combine June and July. Unfortunately, I read a lot of books in June. I also read a lot of books in July, and I know that I'm going to be over exaggerating what I say. I'm going to be fangirling a lot. I'm going to be giving you like a lot of details, which is something that I've noticed that I've been doing a lot. And instead of just giving you like one or two thoughts, I tend to get into a lot of conversation with myself so you can know my complete feelings about the books. But unfortunately, I decided to separate them, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be giving you my June wrap-up. So without further ado, let's just get right into this so we won't make this a 20-minute video. Okay, we're gonna try. I'm gonna try as hard as I can. So if you don't know anything about me, I am obsessed with Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I decided to reread the books because I did watch the TV series in anticipation to reread these books. So I first picked up The Promise Part 1, 2, and 3, and overall I really did enjoy these books. I love that it pays tribute to the TV series, and also love how in one way or another they do intertwine with the TV series. Unfortunately, I really did have a couple of issues with this one, especially when it came to Avatar Aang and also when it came to Zuko. Those were like my two issues, but I do have like in-depth details about, you know, my feelings on Goodreads, so if you want to check those out, I'm going to be linking my Goodreads down below just in case. But like overall, I really did enjoy them, and it depends on where you stand. Some people love these, obviously other people rave about it. Some people are a bit disappointed by them. I fall like in the in-between because I do love the artwork, I love these characters, and I love going back and just seeing them. I just think that with some characters they try too hard, and with others it's just like they're regressing in the progress that they had in the TV series, and that's something that I have major issues with. But continuing with the Avatar: The Last Airbender trend, I picked up The Search, books 1, 2, and 3. Same thing, love the artwork, had major issues, especially with Sokka. I think that they're trying to make Sokka like overly funny, and sometimes it's just like too much, and sometimes you're like, you know what, just stop, just stop, and just have him brooding. I don't know, just try not to make him too funny, because sometimes it's just like a little bit too much. And I'm not gonna deny that sometimes he does make me laugh, but the other times it's just like, okay, you don't have to make him every 5 minutes or every 5 seconds whenever we see a clip of him to try and make him funny. But overall, I did enjoy them. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars as a whole. The same thing with The Promise, which is 4 out of 5 stars. And then as my final Avatar reads, I decided to pick up The Lost Adventures, and I really did enjoy this book because obviously these are lost adventures that intertwine with the TV series, and there were some that I really did love, others that I was okay with, like sword bending. That was just like too hilarious. Boomy versus Toph, I was just cracking up. It was just too much. I just loved it so much. And also Night Animals, those are ones that I really did enjoy. Also like another one, I just don't remember the name of it, but this was really good, and like I said, it does mesh in with the TV series. And overall, I just love seeing these characters again because, you know, they make my heart content. And for my first audiobook that I decided to pick up for the month, that would be The Shadow Queen by CJ Redwine. This is a reread for me, the first time that I heard it through audio format, and I really did love the narrator. I thought that her intonation and the voice that she used, and obviously when she twisted her narration for all the different characters, something that I really did love. I also thought that Leo was just like how I imagined them in my mind, but I forgot how much I love these characters. I forgot how much I loved Leo and Lorelai and what was his name, like the shape-shifting dragon, Cole, and Gabriel. Oh, he was just such a beautiful father figure that I just forgot how much I loved him. And also Sasha, the Gryffalcon. Like I said, I'm going to be repeating these again, but I just love these characters, and I forgot how much I loved them. And I just love, this is a Snow White retelling. Snow White retelling? Yeah, a Snow White retelling that has dragons meshed into the story. It was just something that was so beautiful, and I just really freaking enjoyed it like so much. I gave this I think it was 5 out of 5 stars, like in the audio format. Really, in my reading progress through it, I did give it before, I think it was 4.5 out of 5, just because there's something that I didn't agree with, which is the demise of a certain character. Obviously, I'm not going to say because of spoilers. I just thought that it could have been handled differently and he could have been saved. That's like my one issue that I can nitpick, but I just loved everything else and the adventure that she goes through and how strong she is as a character and how brave also she is. I just loved Lorelai and I love everything about this. And I also thought that the villainous queen was, you know, a pretty good match. So yeah, I was really content with this. So I'm going to be continuing with the Ravenspire series. That's why I did decide to pick this one up. But overall, I really did enjoy it. The next book that I decided to pick up is The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. I never knew how much I love this book. I just devoured it so much. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. This is about magicians who are basically going extinct, and there is this brink that if you pass through this brink, it's going to kill you. There is also an order that's trying to eliminate the magicians. So they have to go on this weird and crazy adventure in the past, because we do have time traveling aspects to it, and retrieve a book that might help them save their lives. And it's just something that's so interesting. We have 6 different point of views, and we get more from some characters than we do get from others, but it was just such an adventurous story that I just loved. And I loved all the characters. Like, I couldn't turn the pages fast enough. This was very mesmerizing for me. I just loved all the characters. Some grew on me in the end with something that they did. Others I just loved throughout the entire book. Some just broke my heart, man. They just broke my heart. But overall, this was a really good read, and I can't wait for the sequel in this installment, because it was just so damn good, man. Like, honestly. The next book that I decided to pick up was Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. I was not expecting to love this as much as I loved it, and I do know that I've shifted between like what I want to give it. I think I mentioned once that I wanted to give this 4.5 out of 5, but like after debating it with myself for a couple of hours, I said I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 stars, because I just love the feel of what a family is to them and how they create their own family. I also love that this is a Viking inspired story, and I love the characters, how brutal they are at times, but how flawed they are, and it's just so beautiful. I just love the main character. The only issues that I can say is like she was always thrusted into something, and you always wanted her to, like, you know what, can you let her breathe? Because it's just like, I want this woman to breathe. I want everything to happen good for her, and I was just like, I want so many good things for her. But this was just such an amazing story that I just loved so much. And also Fisk is one of the characters that I really didn't love in the beginning, but I ended up falling in love with him for everything that he did. And it was a great read, and I can't wait for people to read it. Well, the only thing I don't like is that it's a standalone. It does have a companion novel to it, or it's going to have a companion novel to it pretty soon, but I wanted more from this. I thought that it wrapped up really good, and it gave me everything I wanted, and I had so many feels while reading the book, and it was just something that really entertained me, and it just, you know, it gripped me from the beginning to end. And it's just jam-packed with fighting scenes, adventure. There's always something happening, and it's just also like, how do these characters get out of this alive, and also eventually uniting, aside from all the hate and all the problems that they might have with one and another tribe. You know, also like survival. You have to survive in order to wipe out this threat that's going to come in pretty soon. So those are the details that I really love. And also the characters were really just so good, and they just made me fall in love with them, and I just wanted to root for them, and I just fangirled like so much. You have no idea. If you don't know anything about me, I'm a character driven person, so this was such a perfect read. The next book that I decided to pick up is one that unfortunately I'm really sad by, because like I was really enjoying the beginning, and then like in the middle I was just like constantly rolling my eyes, and I was like, no, I can't with this. And that book is The Last Namsara by Kristen Cesarelli. I hope I pronounced her name right. I DNF'd this book at page 185. I just couldn't anymore, because while I do love all the aspects of it, because here we have what is it called? I don't remember right now. I think it's called an Ascari. Is it an Ascari? A Namsara. Duh, the name right there says it. A Namsara, and you know, her name is, I don't even remember her name. That's how memorable this book was. Asha. Like, I thought that in the beginning, like, everything, the fact that these dragons, by you telling them stories, they become stronger, and I love the fact that they're hunting them down. I rooted for the dragons. I'm not gonna deny it, because I do love dragons. It's one of my obsessions. Unfortunately, here it didn't deliver. I love the side stories of dragons, and I love how was it that they turned on humans, but unfortunately, I couldn't continue with the main character because she had things to do. Unfortunately, she was always like trying to get in trouble or trying to get her nose where it wasn't supposed to be placed in. And I was like, you know what, woman? Go do what you have to do. Figure out what the hell is happening. And then decide to get in here. And then also, like, I hate when a character is scarred or has something wrong with them, and they're like, oh, I'm so unattractive, nobody's going to like me. And when there's a person that actually says that you're beautiful, the first instinct is to turn them down. And I'm like, okay, I get it, you might have flaws with you and you might not seem perfect, but like, you're beautiful regardless of what. Doesn't matter how many scars you have. And that's something that I was just like really let down by, because like that could have been promising, like no matter how many scars she has or whatever, you know, she loves herself and she's going to be strong and, you know, ill-fitted with that. And I was like, you know what? That's something that I would have loved. Unfortunately, it didn't deliver on this one. She was stupid at times, and I couldn't connect with her. And I even though I loved the dragons and I wanted to know what was happening, I just couldn't. And I was like, you know what? Let me put it aside. Maybe I might pick it up. I just didn't. So I DNF'd this book. Unfortunately, it was so sad. The cover is beautiful, which is one of the reasons why I bought this book. Unfortunately, the inside is not that great. So yeah, that's sad. That's really sad. But if you noticed, I read a lot of fantasy, so I decided to pick up contemporaries, because, you know, I was like, you know what, I need a break from fantasy, because too much is too much, you know. Even though I love fantasy, I also every now and then need some contemporary. So I decided to pick up The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, and oh my god, this blew my mind. This is 5 out of 5 stars. I just loved everything about it. I love the family dynamics. I love the main characters. I love everything she was going through, even though at times it was really sad. Like from the beginning, you know, this is going to be a strong and impactful read, and it packs a punch. Like there are moments when I was sobbing, and I'm a weak reader. I cry constantly. Like there's something that just like little bits of words that are sprinkled here that might be sad, and I'm already sobbing. That's how I am as a reader. But I just connected with her so much, and I loved this character and everything what she was fighting for, even though she was scared at times. You know, in the end, she stood up for what she believed in. It was just so beautiful. And like I said, the family dynamics were amazing. And that ending, oh, that ending was just like heart pounding. And I was just like, you know what? You're going to break my heart. You know, there were times that it was really heart wrenching, especially in the beginning. And I just can't praise this book, because it's such a great topic to write about, and just, you know, tell about the things that are happening nowadays in contemporary and make it meaningful to somebody. And that's something that's so beautiful. I also cannot wait for the movie to come out, because like this was freaking brilliant. That's all I'm gonna say. Pick it up, because it's really good and it's actually worth the read, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't think about anything else, just pick up that book. The next and final book that I'm going to be speaking about is Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. Unfortunately, I wasn't a fan of this book. I'm still debating to give it a 2 or a 3-star rating, because there were many things that I did enjoy. Unfortunately, none of those are oriented towards Leah. I did love certain side characters that were introduced, obviously, from Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. But I couldn't connect with Leah as much as I tried to. She was really rude, and at times she would overthink things. So that was something that was really annoying for me. And also, like I said, if I can't connect with the character, I'm not going to feel it. I also thought that there were moments that could have been handled better. I also think, this is my personal belief and my personal thoughts on Leah and the Offbeat. I thought that this, honestly, truth be told, to me, if it read more like a fanfic than actually an author writing about her own characters. I thought that some characters acted out of what we experienced in Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. I also thought that Becky Albertalli with this book was trying to explain a lot of things that happened in the movie instead of continuing with what happened in the book. So that's why I was like really annoyed by it, because I was like, are you trying to defend things that were mentioned in the book? Or are you trying to defend... No, I'm sorry. Were you trying to defend things that were mentioned in the movie, or are you trying to explain the book and further develop these characters? And even though I'm all for a female romance, I just didn't feel it in this book, and I can't praise it, because I just couldn't agree with it. There were also moments that I was like, how are you going to tell her that she can't, you know, classify herself as something? You can't tell somebody who they are. You have to let them decide for themselves. There were just many things, many issues that I had with it. And even though this is a fast read, because I just flew by it, I wanted to DNF it, and I just was constantly rolling my eyes. And it was sad, because unfortunately I love Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. I also love the other book, The Upside of Unrequited. I really did love that one. Unfortunately, this one is a no-go for me. So yeah, those are all my thoughts that I had on all these books. If you want to tell me which was your favorite read for June, unfortunately, if I have to choose, it'd be between The Last Magician and Sky in the Deep. Those were the two that I really did enjoy. But that's it for my video. I want to thank you for watching, and until next time, peace.